Welcome to Mindshock. This is the 76th edition. Man, we're gonna have some kind of like 100th episode, 100th Q&A extravaganza of some kind. This is your host, Bruce McGuire, and we were discussing anything and everything in typical Mindshock fashion with logic and reason at the forefront, attempting not to fall for any logical fallacies unlike everything else out there. If you want to help support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure you're subscribed, like, and share Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. Patrons do get priority for case topic, logical analysis, co-podcaster requests. You could also be a guest in the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind. Leave them in the comment section. Unless, of course, you are with us here live. Drop them in the live chat. I'll try to get to each and every one of them. Welcome, Les Xylophone, Flat Bob, Scott Hawkins, Sarah Catherine. How is everybody doing today? Quite a few things to go over. I'll open up the floor to some introductory questions, and then I'll go over what I have on the agenda for today. And then, of course, tomorrow evening is the White House UFC 250 Freedom Card. We could talk a little bit about that. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. I'm actually not impressed with that card, but we'll get to that later. We have some goofery to go over today as well. Perhaps in the Flat Earth department. A lot of goofery. Alright. So alright, I think I'm all set here. Okay, Scott Hawkins says, it's a great day. Every day is a great day. So, first things first, I mentioned Scream 7 on the Scream 7 live stream. I mentioned that I would be checking out Ready or Not Part 2. Who has seen this one? I was completely blown away. Is 2026 the comeback of the horror movie? For those who didn't catch the Scream 7 stream, I was really impressed with the first two acts. Best slasher possibly in 20 years. And I actually forgot a few things, too. I mentioned Cry Wolf, which I've kind of designated the last real slasher film, which, I mean, this is way back in 2005. But I forgot about two other slashers. I'm surprised some aficionados didn't bring these up. But 2009 had Sorority Row. Now, it's a remake of House on Sorority Row, but not a slasher nonetheless, with a pretty decent budget. I think we did talk about it a really long time ago, but I kind of forgot about it. It's 12.5 mil. Sizable, decent budget. It was really good. I was impressed with this one. And there's actually one more that wasn't complete garbage before the transition into the new era, and that was another remake, My Bloody Valentine, also available in 3D. They both came out in 2009. These are the last decent slashers. I would still rank Cry Wolf ahead of these two, and then I would have Sorority Row above My Bloody Valentine, but My Bloody Valentine 3D was kind of funny and entertaining, so it's got that going for it. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, was arguably more entertaining than any horror movie in the past 20 years, maybe. So between this and Scream 7, I did not see this coming. Bruce McGuire got mind shocked. how is it possible this movie is this entertaining? You have Sarah Michelle Gellar, who coincidentally was also in Scream 2. So Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, it's not a slasher, but it is a horror movie, and I was so shocked by this one. I mean, there's no woke Hollywood goofery propaganda, none of that garbage. It's just an entertaining, hilarious movie that's really well written, well shot, well executed, well edited, great soundtrack. I mean, it's just so entertaining and funny. Now, there are a couple moments that stretch credulity beyond the universe established, but the universe established is also quite entertaining. Now, see, here's the thing. A lot of people will say, if you haven't checked out my other podcasts on horror movies and the Satanic Illuminati agenda, and all of the propaganda, psyops, subliminal messaging, predictive programming, all of that in Holly weird movies. See, here's the thing. It's not subliminal. The whole plot revolves around Satanists. So, they're not really sneaking in any messages, and for the people to say, oh, well, it's overt manipulation, not necessarily, because again, if they can't violate your free will, so if you know what you're getting into and you're watching it for entertainment value, I don't know, perhaps there are some people that will dispute this, and I would like to hear their arguments. But welcome Richie Rich and Sphinx Bear up in here. So, yeah, I mean, Ready or Not 2 is my pick. So there have been a few good horror movies like Hereditary. I was a pretty big fan of Hereditary in the newer era, but there's not a lot. I mean, what was the other one? It Comes at Night or something like that. There was a couple decent horror movies in the past 2 decades, but not many. Not many. Or past decade and a half, rather. So 2011, again, my line of demarcation, when the whole world switched over to, you know, the trash reality that we have now. Healthmaster Jedi says, have you done any discussions on the age of the Earth, logical analysis on the age of the Earth? Not specifically, but if you check out the Altered History podcast series, I go into it a little bit with civilization cycles. And the Mayans, of course, had, I think they had 7 previous cycles. We're on the 8th, if I got that correct. So yeah, who has seen these movies? Who's seen Ready or Not 2? Like, I can't believe, like, I cannot remember the last time, like, it was almost like a flashback to, like, the 90s, early 2000s, when movies were fun. Like, there's no politically correct BS. There's no woke goofery trying to get shoved down your throat. It's just, it's weird. It's like such an outlier film. And where like everything out of Hollywood is just complete trash, and then this comes out, and again, the first one was good, but I don't know, it didn't really mind shock me that much. I mean, it was good, but I would argue this is way better, like in terms of entertainment value. I mean, the entertainment value is just spectacular. $14 million budget. So, yeah, Searchlight Pictures produced this, so it is a Hollywood studio. This is not an independent film. Searchlight Pictures, this is, formerly Fox Searchlight. Why does it say it's Fox, it's an independent film production distribution company, but it's owned by Disney. Huh. Okay, so it's semi-indie. I mean, that would explain it a little bit, but still, distribution-wise. So, yeah. Okay. Run Boston Bear says it would be enjoyable to do movie watch parties on your Discord. Ooh, that could get dicey. Yeah, I haven't really spent a lot of time back on Discord, like, yeah, I need to dive back into that, because the Discord would definitely be better for hosting debates and things of that nature, and roundtables. We definitely need to do some roundtables on Discord. So yeah. But yeah, so nobody's seen this one. So who has seen my recommendation of, I keep forgetting the name. Is it Hot Summer Nights? It's just such a 80s and 90s name too. Cuz this movie blew me away too. Like I couldn't believe a movie, it's 2017. Movie that's actually good post 2011. I mean, this is rare stuff here. This is rare. Sphinx Bear says square tables are better. What about round tables with pointy edges sticking out the side? Okay. Yeah. So this is definitely on my recommended list. Ready or Not 2, and you definitely do need to watch the first one. So yeah, this kind of entertainment. I mean, it's totally reminiscent of 90s, early 2000s vibes, 80s vibes too, of just, movies that are supposed to be fun and not propagandized woke goofery like pretty much everything post 2011. And also, they actually cared about making this good. Like, that's another thing too. Like, most of that Netflix trash, they're just making content. It's not cinema. It's not entertaining. It's not well made. It's just 99.9% of it is all garbage. So yeah, that's, oh yeah, one more thing too. This might come as a shock, because I have been heralding these older movies. Somehow Valentine slipped through the cracks. I remember this movie from 2001. Maybe somebody had it on in the background when it first came on DVD or something, or even VHS. I don't remember. I just don't remember much about it. So I watched it on a whim last night. And I actually like Ready or Not 2 way more, which is crazy, because I would rather watch even horrible movies from the 80s or 90s or early 2000s than any of the garbage coming out now. But yeah, this is one of the weakest slashers, and people really have this one top. Like, a lot of people have this top 10 on their slasher lists, which I'm gonna benchmark something here for maybe even next week, possibly. I'm gonna do a comprehensive overview of every slasher film of all time for every year, and pick the top year slashers. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies, everybody knows that. And I don't watch, I watch slashers the same way I watch comedy movies, for the entertainment value. Like, again, if you've checked out some of my podcasts on the horror movies, the evolution of horror movies, I talk about it a little bit, and then a few others where I talk about, like, the satanic energy that Hollywood weird or even indie movies have, where they want to siphon your fear, kind of adjacent to the Loosh trap of any kind of fear and suffering that gets siphoned by these potential interdimensional demonic type entities, archons, whatever you want to call them. But here's the thing. If you're watching the movie and genuinely having fun and being entertained and laughing, there's no negative energy to feed off of you. But if you're genuinely scared of these movies and you have genuine fear, which some people do, I think that's a little bit less prevalent now than before 2011, or even before 2000, or even before 1990. So, yeah, let's not fall for false dichotomies there. But yeah, I was really not impressed with Valentine. And I kept seeing it ranked on these top 10s all the time. Run Boston Bear says Chucky has to be high on the list. I wouldn't call Chucky a slasher. That's the thing. We gotta establish, like, strict definition for slasher. Slashers are usually a human killer or borderline or ambiguous human entity. Like, Chucky's not a human entity. Whereas, like, Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers is a human-ish entity. Like, there could be paranormal, but it's not like a traditional paranormal horror movie. Chucky's, like, obviously demonically possessed doll, like, things of that nature. That's more of a general, like, a different horror category. Run Boston Bear says, I guess I just remember when Chucky was under the bed and slashed the person's Achilles tendon. I don't even remember that. The Chucky series is not one of my favorite. I was never into the Chucky movies. I think I might have only even seen them for the first time maybe less than 15 years ago. I did not watch them as they were released. I was a big Friday the 13th fan. I was totally Friday the 13th over Halloween. I was not the... I need to rewatch some of the Halloween movies, but I know a lot of people like Michael Myers and the Halloween movies. I just was not impressed. I do like the vibe of the first one, though, and a lot of people give credit to the first Halloween just for popularizing the slasher. And it is well filmed. Cinematography is pretty good. Sarah Catherine says, have you seen Hangman's Curse? It features goth kids. Hangman's Curse. It sounds familiar. Huh, no, I have not. 2003. Seems like it would be right up my alley. Let me see here. Bullying students at Rogers High School are dying from screams about a legendary ghost. The Veritas Project, a trained investigative team, is working undercover to uncover the truth and protect the students from their own fears. David Keith Leighton Meister. Not seen this one. I do not believe I've seen this one. It looks familiar, though. I probably have seen the poster or the cover art at the video store back in 2003. Huh. Is it good? Let me watch the trailer real quick. Looks kind of low budge. Let me check the... It looks kind of hokey. I like more polished movies. Let's see what the budget was here. $2 million. Wow, I wouldn't have even guessed it was that much. And it is based on the novel Hangman's Curse, distributed by 20th Century Fox. It looks like it was a limited. It was not a wide theatrical release. It looks like it was a limited release. Only grossed 168,000. Dill Weezy said Rob Zombie did a good job on the Halloween movies. Yeah, I actually liked his first take on Halloween. I probably liked that one more than the other Halloween movies, but I haven't watched... Yeah, I'm actually behind on some of the newer ones. Yeah, I'm gonna... So on my Slasher Comprehensive, that's probably gonna be like a big 3-hour stream. I'm probably gonna stop somewhere around... I don't know. I might have to stop at the line of demarcation at about 2011, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I should go farther than that, because I actually haven't even seen a lot of recent ones because they're so bad. I just watched Thanksgiving. I don't know, maybe last year. When did I watch that? Maybe it was 2 years ago. It came out. So Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. So that came out 2023, so I probably watched that 2024. I probably watched that about a year after it came out, somewhere around there. And they're making the second one. I think it was originally slated to be released this year, but now it looks like... Actually, it was originally slated for 2025. Wow. Still not out. Is there a release date here? They have the full cast and everything. So the original was 2023. I think I talked about it in a stream too, because that was one of the fake trailers on Grindhouse. And the trailer's better than the movie. The trailer's phenomenal. Who hasn't seen the trailer? Let's watch the trailer right now, just to see how good it is. Hold on, let me bring it up. Yeah, YouTube lag is crazy. Hold on a second, I'm getting it right now. Wow, it just went into like dial-up mode. 56K mode. Alright, yeah, this trailer is crazy. I remember the first time I saw this, everybody was kind of saying they should make this the real movie, and then when Eli Roth finally made it, it was nothing like this, because this would have been taking place in the 80s, even though it looks more even 70s style. So, for the people who haven't seen it, it's really cool. They should have definitely made this version. Fair use, obviously. Fair use. Did I mention this was fair use? This is totally fair use.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you.
And just the voiceover, everything just screams like 70s, 80s style.
Thanksgiving. In the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, the fourth Thursday in November is the most celebrated day of the year. The table is set. The festivities have begun. But uninvited guests have arrived. And this year, there will be no leftovers.
Fair use. I mean, how bonkers is that? Just random decapitations in the middle of a Thanksgiving Day parade? I mean, this is crazy. Where's the popo? Where's the popo when you need them?
Thanksgiving.
And I like how he just keeps repeating it. Now, Eli Roth is a very sick man. He's a very sick man. I mean, this scene right here is crazy. It's been somewhat censored, so hopefully it should be good for the stream.
White meat, dark meat, all will be carved.
Wow. Imagine being sick enough to think of something like that. That's Eli Roth for you.
Thanksgiving.
And I like how he just keeps repeating the name of the movie, because some of those old trailers, that's how they were. They just repeat the name of the movie every 5 seconds.
Come on, Judy, how about it?
There he is.
Happy Thanksgiving, baby.
Thanksgiving.
Cool it, Judy. Safe. Bobby's here.
There he is. Wait, what? So her other boyfriend dies and she just runs to another guy, starts making out with him after the other guy got decapitated? Man, the track record. All her boyfriends getting decapitated. What the heck? I forgot about this part. What a genius. Man, the cerebral prowess of these characters is incredible.
Son of a bitch.
Arrive hungry.
Happy Thanksgiving, Grandma.
Leave stuff. From director Eli Roth. Thanksgiving. You'll come home for the holidays in a body bag.
What the heck? I forgot how sick that trailer was. Wow. Wow, Dill Weezy says Detective of the Year. Wow, was that sick or what? So Eli Roth officially said, let me get, supposedly, this is what he said. Where was that comment? That Eli Roth claims that the trailer is for a Thanksgiving movie that came out in the 80s, but it is lost. Only the trailer survived. And Roth's 2023 film is like a remake of that film, supposedly. That's like the lore of it, instead of him just making the original that this trailer is for. And supposedly there was a vote from the Grindhouse trailers, and Machete won the vote, and that's why they made Machete into the feature film. So, yeah. Interesting. But I think if they had set this in the 70s or 80s, I mean, I guess this is 80s, even though the trailer's closer. I mean, I guess super early 80s, but yeah, what a crazy trailer. Dill Weezy says, Eli Roth kind of gives me a serial killer vibes when I see him in interviews. Yeah. Eli Roth is off in the head for sure. For sure. I think Cabin Fever is probably, well, Hostel and Cabin Fever are probably my favorites from him. His other movies I thought were kind of weak. But, I mean, yeah, you can't argue that he's a true fan of horror movies, but where is he? I mean, he really, yeah, I don't know. I guess he's not the biggest fan of like, slashers only. Like, he likes a lot of different types of horror, but... So, any final thoughts on slashers before we move over to our next topic? We got a few to cover here, and then I'll take more questions, obviously, or as we go as well. Just give me a second here. Tackle the lag. Okay. So, any final thoughts on these slasher movies? So, probably somewhere around next week, I'll do the comprehensive... What would it be? 3/4 of a century of slasher movies? Over half a century of slasher movies. Sarah says, sorry, Bruce, I remember that kids would bully me with that movie because it was inspired by Columbine and I was the only goth kid at the time. Hangman's Curse? What do you mean they would bully you with the movie? Run Boston Bear says, I would love a Bruce McGuire style mystery science theater through that. You know what? Everybody's told, like when I have watched movies with people, I mean, we do have a lot of fun on some of the commentary. But if it's a really good movie, not really, because you want to enjoy the movie, but... Yeah, I'm pretty good at pointing out issues with the movie. It's only so much time in the day. Alright, so let's move on then. Oh, Dill Weezy says House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects were intense as well. You know what I thought was really underrated? So, okay. Yeah, see, I didn't really like those. Intense is a good word. Intense is a good word. I kind of liked... So people think Rob Zombie gets worse and worse. Well, first of all, I was a Rob Zombie music fan. Dracula. But, yeah. So I was a big fan of his music before he got into film. And everybody thought his films would be terrible. I actually love the artistry of his movies. Not the craziest fan of plot and or character development. I mean, the characters are cool, but the development and the unfolding of the plots in his movies, they leave a lot to be desired. But visually, I think he makes some of the best movies visually. So House of a Thousand Corpses was probably my least... I didn't really like it, but intense is a pretty good word. Also, he's kind of new to filmmaking. The Devil's Rejects I liked more, but I thought it was still lacking. I did not even see the werewolf. I'm looking at his filmography right now. Werewolf movie. Or what is this? Werewolf Women of the SS. Nick Cage? What is this? Professional... Oh, these are fictitious trailers, so they did not turn this into... Interesting. Okay. Then he did Halloween 2007. I really liked that one. Halloween 2, I'm not even sure I remember that too well. I probably should rewatch that. So he did Haunted World of El Superbeasto. Adult animated film. Did not see that. Never even heard of it. Never even knew it existed. Okay, that's interesting. A washed-up luchador and a super spy investigate Nazi zombies, a nefarious scientist, and a stripper with a satanic birthmark. On paper, seems brilliant, but for some reason, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Has anybody seen this? Haunted World of El Superbeasto. Okay. And Lords of Salem, again, visually and ambiance. I mean, that's... Zombie is definitely a genius in that regard. And, yeah, he did Zombie Horror Picture Show. That's a film concert. Okay, 31 I thought was pretty cool. And 3 from Hell, not as much. Yeah, 31 I think might be his best one. That's 2016. 31. During Halloween 76, a group of carnival workers travel through the countryside. The group is attacked by people disguised as scarecrows, taken to a strange large building. Yeah, I'm not going to read the whole plot here, but yeah, 31 might be my favorite Rob Zombie movie. And I think most people don't like it. But this is zombie, like an experienced filmmaker zombie. Rob Zombie. Yeah, the visuals are great. I mean, the plot is better than most of his other movies. So, yeah. Alright, so let's move on. If nobody has any other horror questions. Going once. Going twice. Austin MP says Disclosure Day was disappointing. Yeah, I'm not even going to watch that. Spielberg is like the biggest hack ever, and always was. I always maintain that, even in the E.T. days. So yeah. Austin MP, were you the horror fan? I forget who here is like a big fan of horror movies. Was it Austin MP? Were you talking Scream, the whole Scream series? Who was that? Was that you, Austin MP? I'll give you another minute here then to kind of go through what I just said with slashers. Austin MP says, I like some horror, not all of it. Yeah. I think I might be the only one who thinks 31 is the best Rob Zombie movie. Okay, never seen Scream, so that wasn't you. Okay. I get some of these names mixed up in the chat, obviously, because, I mean, a lot of different type of people in here. Where's Lord Zed? I think Lord Zed might have seen a lot of horror movies. Austin MP says, my dad loves Devil's Rejects. It's decent. It's a decent movie. Intense is a good way to describe it. Zombie does do intensity pretty well. Yeah, 31, I think, definitely my favorite zombie movie. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I've only seen all of his movie. The movies that I've watched, I've only seen them once. I've never rewatched a zombie movie. But Halloween 1 I did like, or no, his first Halloween. Halloween 2, I don't remember. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, and I just remember none of it. And then I don't think I've watched any of the new Halloween movies, or did I watch the first of the new ones and not the other ones? Yeah, too many horror movies out there. Alright, let's move on then. Let's talk the SpaceX IPO. So we went over pretty much all of the scenarios except one, where the stock does almost nothing. So, you know, had a decent pop. I mean, not really. I mean, a lot of some IPOs moves thousands of %. They really put the brakes on this one. They really manipulated this one so it wouldn't skyrocket, because if it did, there'd be a massive sell-off, and the implications for the rest of the market would be quite dire. So we didn't consider that possibility. That almost nothing happens. So yeah, if you got in at open, about 20% move. Not a lot going on. But congrats for everybody in on the Bubblegum AI stock fund. We did clear 1%. Might have actually been a bit more. But yeah, I gotta go through all the fees and all that stuff. And yeah, for anybody listening, I have closed new entries. So if you're in on the AI stock fund, you're in. But, yeah, I don't trust the AI, like I said. I'm not going to give it any kind of real big money to play with. In the future, I will be developing, like, a super high-risk AI, like, with a different account, where, because theoretically, if it can do 1%, well, 1% a day, 250 trading days, that's a 250% return on the year. Most of the best hedge funds are doing what? 11%? 13%? On the year. So if this AI can go 250 on the year, I mean, that would be insane. Sphinx Bear says, how did you say payouts work? So at the end of next month, because this month we're already in the middle of the month and I got to do all the trading fees and all that, it's really annoying. At the end of next month, I'll just do the PayPal out. So depending on what happens with the AI, because it does glitch, but when it it doesn't lose money when it glitches. It simply doesn't execute trades. So, and like I said, we're going for, a penny moves. So we're talking fraction. I mean, again, if you've seen Office Space, you're talking about fractions and fractions and just repeating that process so much to basically try to eliminate the risk of the volatility. And so the volatility wasn't even there for SpaceX. I think it might have done one share up and then exited when it got a little funky. So it made most of the money outside of SpaceX. So yeah, the payouts will be via PayPal, the same one you used to send money. So there'll be monthly payouts, unless, I'll see what happens. So if it's crazy glitching, then you'll get your investment plus the profit back. If it's moving along well and you want to keep your investment in to continue moving along well, then you'll just get the profit only. So that's how it'll work. But yeah, 250% a year, that's a crazy return. But like I said, I don't trust the AI. I just do not trust it. And I do not recommend anybody trust AI for any reason on anything. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun with it. That doesn't mean we can't make some bubblegum money. So yeah, that was the SpaceX deal. It's a little bit more complicated too, because apparently they made a whole bunch of new rules for SpaceX, for the SpaceX IPO. And some of the rules are that the shareholders cannot sell their shares until there's a 30% move and only in certain time intervals. I'm not going to go over the whole schedule. It's pretty boring. But I was looking through some of the fine print, and they really, really put the brakes on this thing artificially. And again, that's why, I couldn't recommend anybody buy it. I couldn't recommend anybody short it. Like this, it turned out to kind of be a nothing burger, really. It might creep up over time, but it really, like, other IPOs have had significant moves. This thing really didn't do much. And by the way, it went live somewhere around 11:40 a.m. Eastern, so I don't know why it says, I don't know why it had this 10 a.m. move. Those could have been the market order reserve shares that people got through their brokerage, not when it went live on open market. Scott Hawkins says, can we just keep rolling it back in, Bruce? If it's still working, yeah. But if it glitches a lot, it might, I don't want everybody just having all their money locked up if it's not actually making stuff off of it. So we'll have to see how it goes, because again, like I said, I don't trust it, but so far so good. Yeah, I just do not want I don't want it handling like large amounts of money, even if it's, unless you can prove you're a millionaire. If you can prove to me you're a millionaire and you do not give one iota of a crap about your money, and even then, I don't know. Like, I just don't trust AI. Call me crazy. So yeah, that's the SpaceX nothing burger of a launch. So if you did reserve those shares at market open, you might make a little bit of money. I don't think most people made this 20% move unless they're just holding forever. But yeah, you could see here a lot of people dumped it just after noon, after 12 noon, and it had a little bit of a pullback, and then a bunch of people bought it. It climbed back up. But the math ain't mathin' in terms of the float, and this is all artificial. Flat Pop says, I'm not a millionaire and I don't give a crap about my money. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, yeah, obviously, it's not that money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. Because you could use money for good, obviously. Now, fiat currency, obviously, some drawbacks, but you could still help yourself and other people with it. But, yeah, I just want bubblegum money, you know? It's always good to have bubblegum money or lunch money or whatever. Scott Hawkins says, I gave what I could afford to give. If it tanked and I got nothing back, so to me, kind of makes sense to keep rolling it in if possible. Yeah, if it continues without glitching, I just don't trust it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It was a fun experiment, and like I said, I tested it, and there are fail safes, so there really shouldn't be. It should. The only question is it making exactly 1% a day? Is it making a little less, a little more? It made more. It made more yesterday. I just gotta, like, because of the amount of transactions, there's so many fees that I'm not sure it made a whole lot more than 1%, but it might have made up to 3%, which is pretty good for one day. But yeah, I gotta double check it. But it's basically calibrated for a minimum of 1%. And I just know if anybody don't, like, I'm not putting in, I wouldn't bet the house, bet the farm on it. I'm not gonna give it like a crazy amount of money to work with, because that's where the problems start, when you get greedy. But theoretically, you know, moving the decimal point to 10% instead of 1%, or even moving it twice to 100% a day, it's moving a decimal point. It doesn't mean it's going to work. Now, I would never do that. I mean, we would really have to get some millionaires who really don't give a crap about their money, because I could just envision that going so wrong. But it is curious. It is curious to see what would happen. But like I said, if you're in, you're in. I am not taking any more entries. But in the future, if I do, like, I might do a super high risk algorithm for 10 or even 100% returns, just to kind of see what's going to happen. But yeah. Austin Epi says, my biggest betting win was $59. I put 15 on the Jaguars last year after they went down 7-0 to the Chiefs. I've actually never bet on sports. Did I? Yeah, I think I told my Ronda Rousey story. I was so willing to put crazy money on Holly Holm. I just didn't trust the refs, because I think it was like 11-1 or 12-1 odds at one point. At one point, that's what it was. Oh, and if you didn't see my post, both in YouTube, on YouTube posts and on Patreon, if you're in the stock fund, I'm trying to keep, because some people have different names, and they sent PayPal from different names. Send me a new email, Mindshock at Yahoo. Send me a new email with AI stock fund in the title. The name that you sent your PayPal from, and your name if it's different than that, like the username or whatever, and the amount that you sent and the date, just so I can make sure I have everybody matched up. Alright, so that's what we got with SpaceX. I'm probably not going to be touching this one too much. Like, the volatility's just not there. So, and I do babysit the AI, so I mean, I kind of let it do its thing, but I still kind of babysit it, because I don't trust it. Alright, so the next order of business. Let's talk. Do you guys want to do Flat Earth next? Because I got a funny mini logical analysis for Flat Earth. And we also got to go over UFC Freedom 250. So that's next on the agenda, and if anybody else has anything else, we'll go over that as well, but that's what I have on the agenda today. Flat Bob says logical analysis is why I'm here. You want to save that for last, or you want to do it now? Want to do it now? Snippy says White House tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to go over the card today, though. I mean, we're going to go... Yeah, but I'll be doing the companion stream, but I'm actually not a fan of this card. Flat Bob wants it now. Alright, 1 second. Let me see what we got here. Let me just get this goof's name correct. Not that this goof is worthy of even having their name correct. So this is Parker from Parker Get a Job username. This is a flatliner. This guy is as brain dead as they come. So Parker and Dean are like two so-called, I guess they're political commentators. They're these mentally disabled goofs who are just vying for Dunning-Kruger championships. I mean, the mental capacity's just not there. I mean, these are retard maxers. Out of the retard maxing championships, I mean, these guys are neck and neck. Parker and Dean, soy goofery off the charts. I mean, this is 7 shades of goofery. And it's just absolutely incredible. There's a flat earth segment here, so let's go over it. Fair use, obviously.
Why do you support Trump?
He wants.
So, you could see here, and the smugness, the smug illiteracy. I mean, I don't know if people use that phrase. I mean, this guy, this is the personification of smug illiteracy. It's not just logical illiteracy. This is basic English illiteracy. I mean, this feminine soy goof is not even on a preschool English level, but he's doing all these so-called debates. He gets invited on political commentaries on the news. He's been on that, like, Jubilee, those Jubilee round, what are they called? Not round tables, but like 1 verse 20 or whatever. I mean, this goof is everywhere. I mean, America truly must be the land of opportunity. If you can be absolutely brain dead, like he's basically like a coma patient level of mental activity, of mental capacity, and he's just all over the place. So let's see how this goes here.
To cut certain programs such as, well, not cut, but, you know, greatly decrease funding to NASA and certain Earth science technologies companies, and I think that
You're trolling, right? You're trolling, right?
No, I'm serious.
You want to cut Earth science and NASA?
Yes, because the
Why?
information that they're telling us isn't completely true.
Oh my God! Wait, what shape is the Earth?
So, appeal to incredulity first. And now, with these non sequiturs. So, Parker's retard maxing is so off the charts. He thinks, well, first of all, notice the appeal to incredulity that something in indoctrination facilities being taught not being accurate. I mean, look at the past 100 years. How many times do they change the Rockefeller, Rothschild, Ghislaine Maxwell's father's textbooks? Like, Parker's so utterly brain dead. He doesn't even know who manufactures the textbooks for the indoctrination facilities. Like, this goof is so mentally gone. So mentally gone. I mean, he can't even use Google? Like, what are the results of the Department of Education? So here's a tweet. I'm going to give some receipts for the tweet in a second. U.S. Department of Education founded 79. The U.S. was ranked number 1 in the world. After 40 years of government-run education, we have fallen to number 24. It's actually worse than that. Let's look at the actual receipts, because a lot of goofs will be spamming genetic logical fallacies. So here is Pew Research Center. How do U.S. students compare with their peers around the world? Recently released data from international math and science assessments indicate that U.S. students continue to rack around the middle of the pack and behind many other advanced industrial nations. One of the biggest cross-national tests is the Program for International Student Assessment. Every 3 years, measuring ability, math and science literacy, reading ability, math, science literacy, and other key skills among 15-year-olds in dozens of developed and developing countries. The most recent PISA results from 2015 placed the U.S. an unimpressive 38th out of 71 countries in math, 24th in science. Among the 35 members of Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which sponsors the PISA initiative, the U.S. ranked 30th in math and 19th in science. So, look at this plummet since government took it over. And you got these brain-dead retards like Parker who are just so utterly illiterate in every single type of literacy, ironically proving the point they are arguing against. I mean, just the level of goofery here is so off the charts, and you could the smugness of this brain dead illiterate, the smugness is what makes it so funny. So let's continue here. Let's see how else he's going to retard Max even harder now. So he immediately goes to what shape is the Earth, which is funny for two reasons. One, first of all, he's a complete retard. But even if we pretend he's not, let's venture into his own narcissistic, deranged, deficient mind for his point of view. In his point of view, he's not. But he's gonna, because he has TDS, obviously. And so this MAGA guy he's arguing with, the MAGA guy went to public school. And so he thinks it's good that the money went there. So if this MAGA guy does believe the Earth is flat, again, we're viewing this from the viewpoint of Parker's retarded mind. This isn't the truth. This is so even from the viewpoint of Parker's retarded mind, he thinks money going into education, he thinks extorted tax funds, funding government indoctrination facilities are a good thing when it produces people like the MAGA guy he's arguing. So this is from his own viewpoint. So, I mean, again, this level of just complete mental disability is so extreme. I don't know if I've seen anything like this.
We don't have a correct image of the Earth. We don't have a concrete image of the Earth. We have, like...
And look at how feminine he was. Even the way he takes out his earbud.
Collages, like edits. We don't have a real photo of the Earth. And that's what I'm saying.
I mean, is it possible to be more feminine? I mean, the soy levels. What are the soy levels? I mean, you could practically see the soy oozing through his pores.
Like, we don't need funding for something that's going to give us fake information. We don't have a clear picture of the Earth.
Sir, do you think that the Earth is a pancake?
Appeal to incredulity, appeal to humor, ad hom, because a flat plane can only be a pancake. It can't be anything other than a pancake. Like, the level of mental disability with these false dichotomies.
I don't know. That's the thing, is that we have no idea where we are.
Do you think the Earth is spherical, sir?
I don't know. I don't think it is. There is no research behind that. There is no real.
Sir, can you tell me why the sunset happens?
And again, it's just classic diversion fallacies and appeal to ignorance. As if, like, what does the shape have to do with an explanation for something? You can come up with 100 different reasons. Doesn't mean any of them are true, and it doesn't mean the Earth is a particular shape as a result of them. But when you're dealing with this level of complete illiteracy and mental deficiency of every metric, this is the kind of so-called gotcha question. This is all this goof has. And what's funny is not only do people think he's actually good at debating or that he actually knows something or is right about anything, but does he think it? I mean, is he really this retarded and narcissistic? Is he really this combo? Is he really this combo?
Why the sunset happen?
Like, you could see, like, he's having trouble just understanding anything.
Yeah, can you explain that one for me?
Like, all he can do is spam fallacies and tilt his empty head?
Neither is space, neither is NASA. They don't tell us the correct things.
No,
There's
I'm sorry.
no
I can
photo.
tell you why it happens. It's because there's a horizon.
Wait, so he's this brain dead. I mean, look at this goof's face. Look at this goof's ugly face. A horizon? So if the Earth was flat, there wouldn't be a horizon? I mean, this level of just complete retard maxing. Has anybody ever retard maxed this hard? Even Jarenism, the new reigning, defending Dunning-Kruger champion. He didn't argue that the Earth is a globe because there's or a sunset happens because there's a horizon. As if that has to do with the shape of the Earth, because there would be a horizon on a globular Earth. There would be a horizon on a flat Earth. I mean, 4-year-olds could know this stuff. Like, what? How can anybody listen to this goof for more than 2 seconds?
Okay. Can you tell me why, under your model, that there is the sunset?
So again, I mean, has Parker seems like, you know, he's a deviant. Not that all deviants play video games, but a lot of just, you know, worthless people who have no value play video games. And again, not exclusively. I'm not trashing video games. I used to play video games back in the day. A lot of smart people play video games too. I just find it hard to believe. Again, I'm appealing to incredulity right now. Who thinks this new generation retard, this new generation soy goof has never played a video game? So in a 2-dimensional video game, you have your horizon, you have sunsets in a video game, a 2-dimensional video game on a plane, but it's just, there's nothing going on inside that head if there's a brain there. I mean, it's almost impressive on, is it possible to sound stupider? Like, it's almost it's kind of impressive, because I'm trying to figure out a way to sound dumber. Can anybody think of a way to sound dumber than Parker? I don't know if it's possible. And look at the smugness. Like, he actually think he's got him with that. Like, that's the level of brain dead we're dealing with here. That's the level of brain. I mean, even Jaren didn't exhibit this kind of smugness. Even Michael Sartain, the previous reigning, defending Dunning-Kruger champion, the absolute champion, Michael Sartain has racked up the most fallacies out of anybody in any debate we've analyzed. But Jarenism has the highest FPM rate, the most fallacies per minute. So absolute champion is Sartain. FPM champion is Jarenism. I don't think either one of them were this smug. I guess the more retarded and narcissistic you are, the smugger you are.
If the Earth
I'm
is
not
not
sure whether
spherical.
the sunset.
Like, and you could tell he's too brain dead to even consider any possible model if it's not spherical. Because goofs like this, they're so brainwashed and dogmatic bootlickers. Like, this goof can't comprehend that something was inaccurate, that was fed to him for regurgitation for treats, aka good grades, in indoctrination facilities. Like, this guy doesn't have the mental capacity to comprehend that whatever was on the curriculum from the Rothschild, Rockefeller, Maxwell family textbooks was inaccurate. Like, the mental capacity, it's just not there.
Okay, to answer your question, I'm not sure, but can I ask you a question? Do you believe there's a curvature in the Earth?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. I don't know if we've seen goofery like this before. I'm not talking about just the words. I'm talking the expressions. The expressions. Malcolm says he's paid. Flat Bob says, I think he's just an idiot. Well, he's definitely on some kind of payroll. But the question is, did they put him on payroll because he's a useful idiot? Because, again, I have to appeal to incredulity here. I don't think his thespianistic ability, I don't think he has any abilities of any kind. Flat Bob says soy maxing, retard maxing, and goofatorium maxing. We just call it goof maxing. Keep it short. Goof maxing. Oh man, the goof maxers. Flap Pop says he just likes to learn the flavors of the different colored crayons. Malcolm says he's an actor like most. I don't think so. Well, okay, to a certain extent, yes. Like, we could say he's a shill, right? He's a paid shill. But I'm not sure how much of it is acting.
Okay, where's the curvature? Where is it?
So all he has is this feminine look of incredulity here.
What do
Can you
you
see the
mean,
curvature?
where is it?
So he doesn't even understand basic English.
Hello?
Can you see the curvature?
Hello? His argument is hello. Okay, I have to say. Oh, I know I'm pausing this every second, but I've never seen retardation. Like, I've never seen retard maxing to this extent. I mean, has Sartain or Jeranism, is their argument hello? What kind of an argument is hello? He's got, at least Bryant Myers brought some kind of math to the table. How fallacious it is regardless. At least he brought something. Like, I often compare some of these globe earth debaters and flat earth debates. They're bringing wet sponges to tank fights. This goof didn't bring anything. He didn't even bring a wet sponge. He didn't even bring a non-wet sponge. He didn't bring anything at all. He brought nothing at all to a tank fight. Like, he couldn't even pick up a twig. He brought nothing. Absolutely nothing. Has anybody seen Goofrey like this before?
Can you see the
Technically
curvature?
everywhere around the Earth. You just can't notice it because it's so minute to you specifically because the Earth is so big as compared to us.
That's all he has? The curvature is so minute, so it's not noticeable. So, who thinks he's going to be logically consistent here? So boats don't go over the edge of the don't go beyond the curvature over the edge of the Earth? Because it's so minute you wouldn't notice? Because the Earth is so much bigger than you? That's his argument? Earth big. His argument is Earth big, you small. Oh, man. Notice how he doesn't understand what the burden of proof logical fallacy is. And technically, this is also a straw man because he asked for the action. He's saying you can't see it. And he's hiding. This would also be this would also kind of be, you could stack this under red herring, non sequitur, diversion fallacy, false premise, shifting the burden of proof. I mean, this is like, he asked for evidence, no evidence was provided. Right? Like, this is, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is crazy.
Does that make sense?
So now you're saying no, it doesn't, because you would see the curvature when you're on an airplane.
You
would
can,
see
by the way.
curvature.
Like,
Wait, hold on a second. Whoa. He just said you can, but before he said you can't because it's too minute. So there goes the logical consistency. Wait, is this the fastest inconsistent? It's literally 1 second later you can, by the way. So first of all, you can't because, let me rewind it.
specifically because the Earth is
Curvature.
everywhere around the Earth. You just can't notice it
So you can't notice it,
because
and
it's
now
so
1
minute
second later,
to you specific to you.
Now you're saying no, it doesn't, because you would see the curvature when you're on an airplane.
You
would
can,
see
by
the
the way.
curvature.
okay, so you can't notice it. 1.4 seconds later, you can, by the way. Hold on a second. Hold on. He has to be the stupidest individual. Even Sartain and Jeranism didn't backpedal this fast, this soon, right? I mean, they might 10 minutes later, they might start spinning their wheels. But these, like, who's as much of a brain dead retard as Parker? This is literally, 2 seconds later? Flat Bob says, you can see what you can't see. 1 second, it's not noticeable, because Earth big, you small. And then 2 seconds later, wait, you can notice it, but all of a sudden you can? This is literally the next sentence! We're not talking about, like, 5 minutes later, spinning wheels in another... This is seconds. Like, this is the next sentence. What is this? I've never seen retardation like this before.
Like, if there was no curvature, then you could actually see China across the entire Pacific Ocean.
So, again, this goof is this brain dead. He's never seen a weather report. He doesn't know what a visibility index is. He's never heard of precipitation. He's never heard of atmospheric distortion. This guy's never been in a fog. This retard thinks his street is a sphere every time it gets foggy. Because he can't see, because every time he can't see the end of his street, when it's foggy, all of a sudden the street turned into a sphere? Man, this is tough. This is a short clip, actually, but man, this is hard to get through. Man, this is the most extreme retard maxing I have ever seen. Wow. Scott Hawkins says this is bonkers. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go over. I couldn't believe it. Like, I just skipped through it a little bit. I was like, I gotta go over it on a live. Because this retard, like, the retard maxing here is beyond extreme. I mean, this is the craziest retard maxing I've ever seen. Tom Roslin says, what a explanation. Like, how can you have never heard of fog? Or precipitation. Or haze. I mean, this guy's just doesn't know what haze, I mean, he doesn't know anything about anything. But look how confident he is in his ignorance. And his blind faith in what he was told to regurgitate on command like a dog at an indoctrination facility. I mean, this is absolutely incredible.
There'd be nothing limiting you from seeing China.
Nothing. I mean, rain doesn't exist, clouds don't exist, temperature doesn't exist. In this goof's mind. In this goof's mind, even temperature, air temperature doesn't exist. Oh man, I kind of feel bad for him though. Like, imagine being this retarded. I mean, look at that. There's just nothing going... Like, the mental capacity's not even there to understand precipitation, air temperature, visibility indices.
No, because if the Earth
Tell me,
wasn't
what would be
flat-
limiting you from seeing China? The distance? It would be small? Is that what it is?
What? Wait, what? If the... What? I've never heard this argument. If the Earth was flat, China would be closer to America? The distance is too small? What? Why would the distance change? I mean, this guy basically turned retard maxing into an art form at this point. I mean, he's elevated retard maxing to an art form. I've never seen retard maxing like this. Welcome, Jeff U1P. Why would the distance change? I mean, is this guy this brain dead? He can't map out... Like, you could take a globe, and you can have the exact same distance between two places on a globe or on a flat piece of paper. Like, why would that change? Why would that get smaller? How does somebody even come up with something like that? I mean, this is a special kind of... Like, how do you even come up with an argument? Like nobody's ever come up with arguments this dumb.
The distance. Okay,
The
so
distance,
even if
can I ask you a question?
He just did. The guy's trying to answer your question. Now you're going to interrupt him to ask another question?
Why doesn't the sun get smaller as you can't see it?
Wait, he just asked why you... This guy can't... The ADD is just off the charts here. How do you ask somebody a question, then interrupt them while they're answering to ask another question with your feminine bird hands?
Why does it get blocked by the ground?
I mean, again, this guy's retard maxing so hard by the ground. What is he talking about? Is he talking about over water or over ground where there would be like hills, mountains, trees, whatever? I mean, does this guy, again, does this guy think train tracks touch in the distance because they look like they touch? I would always like to ask that question. Because some people don't know what convergence is within perspective.
Wait, no, don't pivot. Don't answer your question. Even if the Earth was flat, like you're implying.
And he just laughs when he's called out on his goofery. Because he wanted to answer the first question. He interrupted him. The guy calls him out. And then all he could do is giggle like a schoolgirl. That's his soy cope. Wow, this is hard to watch.
If I'm in Georgia, I can't see California, even if the Earth was flat. It'd be impossible. It's too far away, right? So,
I have an experiment for retards like Parker. Put a dot on a piece of paper and put like a tiny little dot, like with a pencil, like the smallest dot you can. Hang the piece of paper on the other side of your room. Unless you have like a 2x2 closet. But if you have like a decent size, you have a couple 100 square foot room, hang it on the other side of the room. If you can't see the dot, does that mean your floor is spherical? Because, I mean, again, retards like Parker, not only do they not know anything about precipitation, air temperature, visibility indices, this brain-dead retard probably doesn't even know about resolution limits of your eye. Like, because, why would you think you could see forever? I mean, that's kind of weird. Like, when it's super dark, you can't even see... When it's pitch black, you can't even see 5 feet in front of your face. Like, why would you hallucinate that your eyes are so perfect that they could see infinite millions of miles? It's crazy. Crazy.
I understand what you're saying.
You might not be able to see that because of the fact that there is like mountains and stuff. Like the dispute could be like, oh, mountains, you can't see because of those things. But there is nothing limiting you from doing that when it comes to the ocean. So you should just be able to take a telescope and you should be able to see China from the Pacific Ocean.
Again, just this retarded. He's never heard of precipitation or air temperature. Has he heard of
all
just
across the Pacific Ocean? You just can't. Why can't you? Because it's nonsense.
Now all he's got is the ad hom. Like, just imagine being that brain dead. Because, like, has he just never been to the ocean on a foggy day? Like, the retard has never been to the ocean on a foggy day versus a clear day. Like, he's older than 3 years old, right? Like, you would think he maybe had seen a weather report by now with a visibility index. I know, this is painful.
It's nonsense to say that we live on a flat Earth. Okay? Where's the ice wall, bud?
Wow, interesting straw man, false dichotomy, diversion, fallacy, spam, stack. Who said, first of all, who said there's an ice wall? What is the ice wall? If there could be, again, potentially many different flat Earth models or non-globular models, what would that have to do with an ice wall, first of all? Second of all, if the ice wall is simply the Antarctic coastline, which I'm not saying it is in any way, but if it is, then that's the ice wall. Tons of photographs, videos, whatever. Unless he's conflating this with the dome barrier, which is another matter entirely.
Why can we circumnavigate Antarctica?
Again, look at... I don't think he's acting. I mean, look at the goof's face. I mean, this looks like genuine retardation. This looks genuine retardation. Because again, he's just spamming false premise, circular reasoning, logical fallacies in assuming without proof that Antarctica was not only circumnavigated, that it was circumnavigated, but that it is where it is claimed to be, right? Because Captain Gunn, was it Captain Gunn? Was it in that one documentary, the most important documentary of all time that went over, was that his theory that Antarctica is just kind of like a smallish island off the coast of South America, and there's like a whole bunch of other continents? If that were the case, what would circumnavigating that island of Antarctica have to do with the total shape of the Earth? But you could tell, like, the retard maxing here is so off the charts because he's so scientifically and logically illiterate. He doesn't understand what variables are, what controls are. He doesn't understand any of this, but for what, again, he just wants to discuss it. He wants to prove his retardation to the whole world.
Wait,
Like
explain
I
that
said,
one. Explain how we can circumnavigate Antarctica.
And the Gish Gallop is all over the place, too. Like, he asked, like, 3 different questions. He asked the long distance, then he asked the sun, and now he's just immediately jumping to the ice wall, alleged ice wall.
And the level of miles that we
And circumnavigation.
do.
Okay, and I'll explain it to you. But
Then he's got the feminine nose rubbing. I mean, just look at the look at the angle of the wrist too. I mean, just like how much soy is in this goof's blood?
I'm saying is that
Of miles that we do.
I'm
I mean, how do you think this is a good idea when you're live on
I'm-
camera to just constantly?
I'm saying
rub
is
your nose
that
in?
there's no real photo of where we are. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
And obviously, the guy he's talking to, I don't know. This guy doesn't seem too bright anyway. But
We don't know. If you Google right now,
can you address my question? Why can we
which question? He just asked for.
circumnavigate Antarctica?
And that's a begging the question, circular reasoning, logical fallacy stack. Well, begging the question, circular reasoning, false premise, logical fallacy stack, and red herring logical fallacy stack, technically.
circumnavigate. I don't know what that means. Can you please explain that? I'm sorry. I don't know what circumnavigate means.
This is perhaps, so here's the thing. He's laughing at this guy who doesn't know what circumnavigate means, which is fair. You shouldn't really be discussing the shape of the Earth if you don't know what circumnavigate means. But on the other hand, this is the face that anybody would have listening to this guy doesn't know what precipitation, this guy doesn't know what air temperature is and how it affects sight. And he's making this theatrical show of laughing at a guy who doesn't know what circumnavigate is. I mean, this retard doesn't know air temperature. He's never seen a weather report. Like, this retard's never seen a weather report. He doesn't understand what visibility index is. And he's making this show of reacting to a guy who doesn't know what circumnavigate means. What a train wreck.
We can go all the way around.
Okay.
Okay. And it doesn't.
Any proof of that, by the way? Again, because this guy, because he's scientifically illiterate, Parker doesn't understand what proof is, what variables are, what controls are. So he's offered no proof of that. That would be a false premise logical fallacy if he's alleging that this is a fact without supporting. Otherwise, he would have provided the proof.
Take us like 25,000 miles to do so. Okay. If Antarctica was all the way around,
It actually wouldn't, right? Because that's just the equator. Like, this retard doesn't know any of the models. Because if it was all the way around further out, it would be more than that. And Captain Cook supposedly logged 60,000 miles, but whatever. And again, look at that feminine wrist kink. Like, this guy cannot hold his arm in a masculine fashion to save his life.
the Earth, okay, it would take over 25,000 miles in order to be able to go around and circumnavigate Antarctica.
If you think Antarctica is what you think it is, but you have to support it first. Because again, if he wasn't scientifically illiterate, he wouldn't just be appealing to these religious dogmas.
Right. But you never addressed my question. Is there a real photo of the Earth? Yes, or no?
Yes.
Okay, so go on Google and type that in right now.
Are you going to say if you stitch together a bunch of
Wow, look at the feminine arm motion.
images to make a larger image that you can see larger, it makes it not a real image?
Yes, that's not a real image.
Wow. That was a very cringe feminine laugh.
Okay, so do you think if I were to take a picture on my phone right now, on the what was it? The is it the portrait mode? No.
He doesn't even know how to use his phone. This is actually surprising. Even some of the biggest retards, they at least know how to use like all the features of the phone. I mean, this is crazy. This guy's so retarded. He doesn't even know how to use his cell phone. This is like this is the smartphone generation. This guy's so retarded. He doesn't even know how to use the features of his own phone.
What mode is it? The panoramic. Sorry, the panoramic. I don't know why I said portrait. I'm so fucking stupid.
Oh, that's the first time. Wow, he said something true. I'm shocked. Mind shook. He actually said something accurate. I did not see this coming. I didn't see this coming. Wow. So we have to, I think we have to give the title to Dean then, the other goof, because I don't think Dean knows how stupid he is. At least Parker accidentally, Freudian slip, whatever you want to call it. At least he said something that was true. This is a first. If you've seen some of this guy's political so-called debates or whatever, where he humiliates himself proving his retardation, I don't think he's ever said anything true ever. I could be wrong. I haven't listened to every minute. It's too painful. But from what I have listened to, I don't think he's ever made an accurate statement about anything ever. So this would be a first.
If I were to take a picture on panoramic, you're telling me that's a fake picture?
I'm saying that they don't do that when they take pictures of the Earth.
That's
They
exactly.
just- they-
Wait. What do you think a composite image is? It's when you stitch a bunch of images together.
Wow. Is it possible to hold your arms in a more feminine fashion than this?
I'm saying that they don't do that when they take pictures of the Earth.
That's
They
exactly.
just- they-
Wait. What do you think a composite image is? It's when you stitch a bunch of images.
Is it possible to hold your arms in a more feminine fashion than this? I mean, is this how he makes a fist to fight, too? Oh, man, this is painful to look at. Wow. This is painful. A composite is a manipulated image, right? That's the point that he's too retarded to understand. Even if it's using other real images, it becomes manipulated. So it's not the same thing as a single unmanipulated photograph, first of all. Second of all, they do a whole bunch of other stuff, right? They change the colors, they copy paste some of the clouds, so it's not simply stitching it like you would do in panorama mode with your own phone.
Just together. So panoramic
Yeah,
is the
stitch a
exact
bunch of-
same thing. Okay.
It's the exact same thing as a composite. Like, this guy doesn't know he didn't even know the name of the feature on the phone, but now all of a sudden he's an expert in photography and photo editing. Wow. This is so painful.
So you think panoramic
We still have about 3 minutes left here. I don't know if I can make this.
images are fake images? So if I were to take a picture right now,
They're manipulated images. And look how feminine he holds the phone. I mean, it's just hard to watch.
from my phone, okay, let's take a picture real quick.
He's got like that schoolgirl posture.
You think that this is a fake image because it's panoramic?
I mean, the guy he's talking to is obviously not very smart. It's a manipulated image. And obviously NASA's images are far more manipulated than what he's doing with his phone right now.
Look at this fake image. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at a fake image right now. Holy shit. Oh my god, what a fake image. You're being ridiculous.
Appeal to incredulity and
That's not a real image. That's an altered image. Yes or no? Did you alter the camera to take that picture? Yes or no?
No, you
Yes,
stitched
you
a
did.
bunch of... No, you didn't...
stitch. So he thinks stitching is not an alteration. Oh man, the retard maxing is off the chart. He's so mentally gone. He thinks stitching is not an alteration. Wow. Man, I don't know if we're going to get... There's 3 minutes left, but I don't know if I can make it. I'm going to have to power through here. I hope everybody appreciates what I try to do for you people. I mean, this is tough. This is tough to get through. I mean, just the illiteracy is just off the charts.
Alter the image. You stitched images together. So nothing about the image in of itself was altered. It was helped to stitch together.
Stitching? He doesn't think stitching is an alteration? Or manipulate? If nothing was done to it, then why is it... Then it wouldn't be stitched, would it?
Okay?
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate. I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you.
No,
but
don't
now
play
you gotta
devil's
answer-
advocate. Tell me your own positions, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. When you look at a picture of the Earth, it's a complete round circle sphere. There's no bumps in it, correct? It's a perfect circle. Is it true that you
You
think
said
Earth
there's
is a
no
perfect
bumps in it?
circle?
Are you serious? Dude, yes there are. There's mountains on the Earth, G.
Again, imagine being this retarded. You think he's talking about mountains. He's obviously talking... Let me bring up an image here. That it's a perfect sphere, even though supposedly... I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson says it's an oblate spheroid. And that it's not a perfect sphere. Now, obviously, a two-dimensional image... A two-dimensional image... Man, it's being really slow. A two-dimensional image is a circle, because if you're looking at a sphere in two-dimensional, in 2D, it is a circle. Let's see here. Okay. And so, do you see any bumps on the outline of the circle? These are all perfect circles. In 2D, these are perfect circles. But imagine being so retarded, you think mountains are the equivalent of the outside circle, of the visible two-dimensional circle of the sphere. Because notice how perfect the circle is of the sphere, right? Like there's no aberrations of any kind on the outer edge. On any of these. Real or not real. Regardless. Real or not real. But when you're this mentally disabled, like this goof just likes to talk, right? Like I don't know if he has a humiliation fetish as well, but he didn't even let the guy finish talking before he started hallucinating. Before he started strawmanning and diversion fallacy stacking. That somehow this guy means mountains. Like, everybody knows there's mountains on Earth regardless of the shape. But the retardation is so extreme. The retard maxing is so extreme. He doesn't even know what a 3D sphere looks like on a two-dimensional image. Imagine being this stupid. It hurts. It hurts just to imagine. It hurts just to imagine.
Yes.
I meant like on the outside, like it's a perfect circle. It's a perfect.
It's not a
circle.
perfect circle.
It's not a perfect circle? Where's the where are the imperfect... Oh, man. Oh, man. Where are the imperfect... Oh, man. Where's any deviation from a perfect circle on any of these? Imperfections. Like, where are the imperfections? It's not a perfect circle. Does he not know the difference between circle and sphere? I think he might be that stupid. It's possible. He's this retarded. He thinks a circle and a sphere are the same thing because he doesn't know the difference between two-dimensional and three-dimensional. Like, every retard maxer we've examined in all of these debates so far has at least known that, right? Even Craig knows that. Even Craig of Fight the Flat Earth knows that. But this goof doesn't know that. We should just give this guy the title right now. I mean, this is just the stupidest individual I have ever seen, ever, and that's a big statement coming from me. I mean, I just can't believe somebody's this stupid. We got 2.5 minutes left, and I'm having trouble here.
That's what they show you.
It's an oblate spheroid.
Oblate? Oblate spheroid?
Okay, so it's not a perfect circle.
He thinks a spheroid is a circle. Again, he doesn't know the difference between 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. Has anybody ever participated in a flat earth debate of any kind that doesn't know the difference between 2D and 3D? I've never seen it. Even the dumbest people, like Craig, Fight the Flat Earth, Michael Sartain, Jeranism. I mean, who are some of these other goofs? Destiny. Even Destiny knows the difference between 2D and 3D. I mean, every small child knows the difference between 2D and 3D. This goof doesn't know the difference between 2D and 3D. I've never seen somebody this stupid. They... Oh, man. Run Boston Bear says he deserves the title. I mean, we might have to give him the honorary title, right? I've never seen anybody this stupid. Although the other guy, Dean, I mean, he's really stupid too. If I had to guess, I would guess Dean knows the difference between 2D and 3D. I hope Dean also does some kind of flat earth segment, because then we can compare. I mean, obviously I need a break after this, but...
Secondly, you have to acknowledge that there's an
Why is he doing bird hands like some kind of woman?
atmosphere. So it...
Whoa, 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 whoa. All of a sudden he knows what the atmosphere is? So when it comes... Oh, man.
looks like that to you because of the atmosphere.
Wait, hold on a second. First he says it's not a perfect circle. So now he's saying it looks like a perfect circle because of the atmosphere? But he just said it wasn't a perfect circle. He said there's mountains.
But if you actually look at the surface, there's a lot of divots in the surface.
There's divots? Who's talking about the circle? We're talking about the circle. We're talking about a 2-dimensional circle. He's still... This guy doesn't know 2D from 3D. This is tough. Is this...
I can't believe you don't know that.
He's accusing a guy of not knowing something when he doesn't know the difference between a circle and a sphere. Oh, man. This hurts. This hurts.
You think it's completely flat? What do you think, we live on Minecraft, bro?
Wow. Appeal to humor.
Okay, you just
You
made...
think, you think we live in Minecraft super flat? Hello? You think we put the biome on...
Now he's just strawman stacking. The other guy obviously knows mountains exist, so because he doesn't know the difference between 2D and 3D, he's going on this whole tirade strawmanning the other guy. This is quite pathetic. Even Jeranism doesn't do... I mean, Jeranism and Sartain don't use these kind of tactics.
Super flat? No! What are you
Where did Superflat come from?
talking about, bro?
What are you talking about?
Hello?
You're
His go-to argument is hello.
assuming
Do you not
my
think the
position.
Grand Canyon is a real thing?
Whoa, what does strawmanning and ad-homing the Grand Canyon have to do with anything? What does the Grand Canyon have to do with these images? What does the Grand Canyon have to do with 2D versus 3D alleged photographs of space? Let's just call them images. These are images. So what do these 2-dimensional images representing 3-dimensional objects have to do with the Grand Canyon?
You're assuming... Somewhat. You're assuming my position.
Somewhat?
This
Wait. Have you been to the Grand Canyon before?
What does this anecdotal fallacy have to do with anything? What does whether or not someone has been to the Grand Canyon have to do with two-dimensional versus three-dimensional versus circle versus sphere represented in two-dimensional or three-dimensional space? Wow.
In Arizona, yes, I have.
So you've been to the Grand Canyon, but you don't think it's real?
Who said he doesn't think it's real? Like, this is retard maxing on a level I've never seen. He's strawman. This is the stupidest strawman. When did he say the Grand Canyon is not real? What? Okay, so I have to. So he appears to be mentally ill because I think he believes his own, like, these manifested hallucinations that he just pulls out of nowhere. In his deranged, defective mind. I mean, you can see the mental illness on his face right here. This appears to be a combination of stupidity and mental illness, because when you start hallucinating strawman positions, but you're too stupid and you lack any kind of of awareness to understand what your own brain, like whatever's left of his deranged mind, is manifesting all these hallucinations, and then he's stacking fallacies based on the hallucination. I've never seen something like this before. This is truly a psychological study on a level we have never seen. This is crazy. This is crazy. Healthmaster Jedi says, I think he's a feminist. I believe he is. Sphinx Bear says, Flat Earth debunked. There's divots in the surface. Divots. What? Parker's talked with Witsit? No way. Run Boston Bear has sent a clip here. Wow, this is 3 out. Wait, this is... You sent a 3-hour clip. Wait, this retard maxers... Whoa, wait a second. This retard maxer did a 3-hour stream on Flat Earth? Okay, I don't think I can... I can barely handle this 3-minute video. Oh, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. He might... I think we have to give him the honorary title.
Somewhat?
The way that... Because it's a different type of region, what they say it is.
Do you think
But I'm
mountains are
telling
real?
He keeps now he's asking if he thinks mountains are real.
Do you think the Appalachian Mountains and the Rocky Mountains are real?
Yes.
Okay, so those are divots in the surface.
But
Mountains are divots? Wait, like... Oh, man. That's actually the opposite of a divot. A divot is an indentation. For example, in golf, like when you hit the golf ball, you take out a piece of the grass. So like a divot is like an indentation. It's not a mountain. It's the opposite of a mountain. I mean, this is what I said about this guy's illiteracy. I mean, does he golf? Is that why he... I mean, golf, like, the etymology of divot, I mean, they're usually talking about golf. But, yeah, it's a disruption in an otherwise smooth surface. So, like, a golf ball would also have divots. But the Earth is not a smooth surface anyway, even if it didn't have so-called divots. Like, this guy's illiteracy, this guy is the most extreme case of illiteracy I have ever seen. He thinks mountains are divots. Oh, man. Troubling Tribune says, when Run Boston Bear says clip, he means full-on long-form video. Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. We still have to go over the UFC card. Okay, we got a minute and a half left. Let's power through.
okay, but you're assuming my position. You just came out saying that you believe that I think the Earth is flat, which I
Wait,
don't.
did I debate you yesterday?
No, my first time here. I came from YouTube.
Oh, sorry. That was Santana
Wow, was that the most feminine wrist flick anybody has ever
messaging
seen?
me about yesterday.
I came from YouTube.
Oh, sorry. That was yesterday. Sorry, I thought it was you for a second.
I came from YouTube.
Oh, sorry. That was.
I came from YouTube.
Oh, sorry.
This is just painful to watch for like a lot of different reasons. I mean, when you reach this level of soy, I mean, is there coming back from this? I don't know. When you reach this level of soy goofery, is it possible for him to come back from this?
Santana messaging me about.
I mean, he talks like a girl. His mannerisms are female. His facial expressions are female. His vocal intonations are female.
Oh, yesterday. Sorry, I thought it was you for a second. Yeah, I do have to clip that, Santana. You're totally right. Sorry.
Like, what a soy goof. Like, this is hard to watch. Like, stupidity aside, like, this is hard to watch just for his mannerisms.
Read the text
and Dean is almost as bad, right? That Dean goof is, he's kind of like Soy Lodge too, right? Like they fondle the microphone or twirl their hair like girls. Like, it's just hard to watch. Like, the soyification of the West has really doomed most of these individuals. I don't want to call them guys. Individuals.
That was in reference to.
I mean, this is not. I mean, this is just painful to watch. Like, if this was the 80s, like, this is like flamboyant homo behavior in the 80s, but unfortunately, it's kind of getting average for even males in the 2020s.
Now, but it was in reference to yesterday, so go ahead.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that you can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that we are where we say they are. We are where they say we are. That's true. Just like I can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that God's real, that we got here by Big Bang Theory. I can't prove these things. So the fact that you just believe these people, what they're telling you.
And that face kind of sums up the whole thing. I mean, this is a combination of just the most stupid individual ever, and also possibly the most soyified. Has anybody seen anybody more soyified than this? I mean, this is soy maxing. Sphinx Bear says, have you ever seen the clip of Dean freaking out on someone for pointing out his vape? It's an anxiety pen. Yeah, I think that's actually the video. Was he also twirling his hair in that video? It might have been that one. Sphinx Bear says, Soy Lodge. Soy Lodge's soyification is not this extreme. I mean, he's fatter. He's definitely fatter, but... Health Master Jedi says, I gotta bet the debate conversation with Witsit would be epic to analyze. I guess we're gonna have to. I mean, we're gonna have to. You're just gonna need to give me some time to recover from this. And apologies in advance. It's gonna have to be like a 20-parter because I'm gonna need some serious recovery time between each installment. Justin Johnson says, limp wrist is the new tough guy.
Is just insane to me. At the
It's
end
not
of the
that I
day,
just believe what people are telling me is that you can test an experiment and show evidence to indicate that the Earth is spherical. We have been to the moon.
Oh, that's a good one. Any evidence of that? I wonder what his so-called proofs for that would be. Again, I'm not saying anybody did or didn't do anything, but if you're going to make a claim, the burden of proof is on the positive claim. If he wasn't logically illiterate, he would know that. But the fact that he said that with a straight face, I mean, okay, I'm going to eat my words. If he provides evidence for that claim right now, I am going to relinquish I'm going to remove his honorary title, stupidest individual alive, and I will issue a formal apology on Twitter to him if he provides proof for the claim right now. I haven't seen the end of this. We got 50 seconds left. So you heard it here. Bruce McGuire will issue a formal apology to Parker if he actually supports his claim here. Who thinks it's going to happen? Justin Johnson says, we identify as moonlanders.
Okay. Tell me why every other planet in the solar.
Okay. His proof was okay. So no, he will not be getting an apology, and he's still holding the honorary title.
System is spherical.
Again, presupposing those are terra firma. Appeal to similarity, fallacy, diversion fallacy. False premise fallacy, circular reasoning fallacy, false dichotomy fallacy. I mean, this is tough. Reductive logical fallacy. I mean, that was an impressive stack. That's like 7 or 8 right there. Still can't beat Craig, though. So, actually, if anybody could beat Craig, I would give him the biggest chance of stacking more than 11 fallacies. That was like a 7 stack right there. That's as impressive as it gets. But nobody can touch Craig and his 11 stack.
But we're flat. Explain that one to me. Or do you think that
Well, we just found...
do you think that space is fake?
So, has he never been in a planetarium?
Do you think when we're doing astronomy...
He doesn't... So this is just a one-way on conversation. So he just asked, like, what, 7 questions? And now he just keeps going and asking more. This is like the Destiny School of Verbal Diarrhea. The Gish Gallop fallacy. He's stacking the Gish Gallop on top of all the other fallacies.
Do you think that's all fake?
I think most of it is propaganda, yes.
So when you look in a telescope, you're saying that's fake? It's propaganda when you look in a telescope?
Wow. Wow. So again, straw manning, false premise, false dichotomy, non-congruent argument, logical fallacy. If you go into a planetarium and point and bring your little telescope and look at the alleged planets at the planetarium in your telescope, like what happens there? We got 20 seconds. This is the toughest clip I've ever analyzed here. It hurts so bad. Justin Johnson says, appeal to soy fallacy. He's not appealing to the soy. He is the soy. The manifestation of soy fallacy.
Yeah, because speaking of that, because we would see
I've
the
done that
star.
myself, sir.
Just...
Sir, I've looked in a telescope myself. You're saying I was looking at propaganda?
Like, I think this is actual mental illness. Because this level of strawman, it's almost like he's convincing himself that that's the other guy's position, even though the other guy never claimed that. Like, the other guy's actually been to the Grand Canyon, but he hallucinated that the other guy didn't even believe the Grand Canyon was real. Like, how do you engage with this level? Forget stupidity. I mean, it's tough. How do you engage with this level of mental illness? You can't. You cannot engage with this level of mental illness when the individual you're talking to starts hallucinating your positions, and it appears that his mental illness is so severe, like, he doesn't even know that he's hallucinating this, but he just believes it to be true and just rolls with it. I've never seen anything like this.
What are you talking about?
Maybe not you, but what we saw from NASA, because NASA.
Okay, I don't take you seriously anymore. Get off my live.
And now genetic logical fallacy. So he thoroughly humiliated himself, and we have to give him the honorary title. This is the stupidest individual I have ever seen in all my days. I have never observed stupidity at this level before. Wow. I hope you guys appreciated the pain it took to go through that. Scott Hawkins says, brutal entertainment, but brutal. Thomas says, perfect example of the education system telling kids they're smart because they do well taking tests, but they're really just good at memorizing BS. But he didn't even memorize the BS, right? Like, he doesn't even know what precipitation... Did they stop teaching precipitation in school? I don't think so. I think 3rd graders learn about reading weather reports. Did they stop doing that? Alright, so, final order of business here. Oh, wow. So good to get that goof off the screen. Alright, final order of business here is the White House card. So this is Freedom 250 at the White House. Tomorrow night, we're doing a live companion stream. If you do not have Paramount Plus, I am sure somebody will post some kind of link in the live chat. I do not condone or encourage it, and I will promptly remove it because we do not tolerate that here on Mindshock. But yeah, so the only two, so there's basically, I've actually barely seen Ilya Topuria fight. Justin Gaethje, crowd favorite, and Alex Pereira, of course, going for the third title in the heavyweight division. Some believe this will qualify him for being the greatest of all time. I am not one of those people. Cyril Gane, also, I think I've only seen his fight with John Jones. And then Sean O'Malley, kind of entertaining. Nobody thinks he's a world beater, though. Zahabi, I don't think I've ever seen fight. No idea who Ruffy is. Michael Chandler, pretty durable, but he's getting up there in age, right? Chandler, I've seen a few of his fights, like, pretty generic wrestler, but pretty tough. How old is Chandler now? So, Chandler is 40. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, he's 40, so he's old. So we got a past his prime Chandler against Mauricio Ruffy, no idea who he is. Bo Nickel is kind of like a journeyman. I've seen a few of his fights a while ago. No idea who Dakos is. Lopez, I think I've seen him fight like once. And no idea who Steve Garcia is. So relatively weak card. They should have definitely had Conor McGregor on this one. They should have just paid John Jones and McGregor. Because this is kind of lackluster. Call me crazy. Like, I think the Netflix card was bigger than this. Healthmaster Jedi says, High Priest of Scientology. Austin MP says, Ilya is nice. I don't remember. I probably have seen some highlights or promos, but I don't think I've ever seen full fights. Thomas says weak card. Yeah, it's really weak, especially considering the event, right? Like this would actually be considered relatively weak even for like a regular card. I mean, you need better opponents. Okay, if Topuria really is that good, okay, fine. Justin Topuria is fine. But Cyril Gane is not proven in any way. I mean, let's look at his record. I mean, this is not like some kind of... They should have got like Fedor Emelianenko out of retirement or something. How many people even know, like how many casuals know who Cyril Gane is? He's 36, so he's not super young, but I don't remember seeing too many of his fights. So, no contest with Tom Aspinall at UFC 321. Aspinall was unable to continue. He beat Volkov. So Gane beat Volkov by split decision. Who saw that fight? Was that really a split, or did he win kind of decisively? Then he beat Sergey Spivak. Who is that? So he lost to John Jones before that. Before that, he won against Tuivasa. I saw that fight, actually. He lost the decision to Nagano. He beat Derek Lewis by TKO for the interim heavyweight title. I think I actually saw that one, too. Okay, that's decent. That's decent. He beat Junior Dos Santos by TKO 2020. Okay, alright. He's not a scrub. He's not a scrub, but he's not like an all-time heavyweight great or anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Austin MP says Jones versus Alex should have been the... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go, Austin. Now, that's a proper headliner right there. They should have also had Gaethje... They should have had Gaethje against Conor McGregor. Austin MP says they're saving Conor for a less stacked card since he sells anyway. They overpromised on the White House card. Yeah, I mean, I'm not debating the business decisions. I'm just saying... It's a weak card. Like, it's really weak. This is supposed to be not just for the UFC. This is at the White House. It's supposed to be a celebration. A quarter of a millennia celebration of an empire. You would think they could do a little better than this. You would think. Like, where are, like, any of the all-time legends that are still fighting? They should have at least had, like, one Legends division fight. It's just really weak. Yeah, John Jones versus Pereira would have been good. That's a proper headliner right there. So McGregor is just coming off of 2 losses to Dustin, a win over Cerrone, and a loss to Khabib back in 2018. So, yeah, and his last 2 losses to Poirier were in 2021. So, yeah, hasn't fought in 5 years. That's a long time. Okay, anyway, so let's do our predictions here for I guess as close as we can get them, because I don't know most of these people. So, very, very weak card. Highly unimpressive. Highly unimpressive. Sphinx Bear says, guy on the bottom row, second from the right, looks super strange. Lopez? I think I watched some fight where he knocked somebody out. He looks pretty powerful. Thomas says they should have got the Paul brothers and the Tate brothers to fight. They should have, right? That would have been great. That would have got a lot of eyeballs on it, right? That would have been phenomenal. Cross promotion with MVP. Austin MP says Aspinall versus Jones would have been good. Yeah, it would have been alright, I guess. Justin Johnson says they will ruin UFC like they ruin everything. Jake Paul is now involved. They say, yeah, UFC was ruined a long time ago, right? And I would argue UFC was never even as good as Japanese MMA. Austin MP says he's going Topuria, Gain, O'Malley, Hockett, Ruffy, Nickel, Lopez. Wait, Hockett is on the card too? I haven't seen him fight. He just fought though. Is he on the main card? It's the Hockett fight. Who is Hockett fighting? I don't see that fight. Austin MP says they added Hockett after the Blades fight. Trump asked for Lewis to be on it. Derek Lewis? Flat Bob says BKFC is way better than UFC. It might be. I need to watch more of that. Austin MP says Alex Pereira coaches a Mason and called the Washington Monument an obelisk today. That's funny. Scott Hawkins says I have no idea who any of these people are, but I'll watch tomorrow. Hockett versus Derek Lewis. Okay, that's kind of fun. Austin MP says Fader versus Crow Cop 2 would have been a hit. Yeah, they should have had like a legacy fight. Some kind of legacy fight on it. That would definitely been a little bit more appropriate for like a 250th celebration. Sarah Catherine says, what time will it start? I think it starts at 8. Prelims might start earlier, but I don't think we're going to be... I don't know how early we'll go. Austin MP says, how is Chael not at the White House? Yeah, why is Chael Sonnen not on this card? There you go. Chael should have been on this card. Healthmaster Jedi says, have you ever done analysis on conspiracies on national sports being fixed? You used to see these on Instagram all the time, people claiming NFL, NBA, and all that. Yeah, I did one on the Super Bowl. Let me drop the link here, because I'll forget. Yeah, whether it was rigged or not, this was last year. I just dropped it in the chat for you, Healthmaster Jedi. Jeff U1P says Pereira is a wizard apprentice. Well, let's not forget, Pereira has been trained by Steven Seagal. We went over that in the Seagal series. So you got to give the Pereira the edge against anybody. So, yeah, I don't know. Who's going? Did you go? Thomas said that would be great. Bring out Van Damme and other actors. Well, Fedor Emelianenko is supposed to box Crow Cop, right? Is there a date on that? Obviously, I got Crow Cop, but he's recovering from like a stroke. So they originally announced it like over a year ago. And actually, Crow Cop said that he signed on February 2025. And the match was supposed to happen before the end of the year. And now they're looking at August 2026 to box. Not a lot of information, actually, surprisingly, on this. So, yeah. And this might be Fedor's first rematch, right? He notoriously ducked rematches and also ducked Crow Cop for a long time. Jeff U1P says, I bet Seagal wanted to keep his distance from him right now. Pereira does crazy rituals before every fight, and he doesn't even make it secret. Thomas says they should have rescheduled the Diaz fight. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is not impressive, but Derek Lewis is always highly entertaining, so that's cool. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to have to, like, do a little bit more research prepping for this fight. Because most of these other guys I haven't seen fight, or barely have seen fight. I mean, Gaethje's kind of old too, right? How old is Gaethje? And Gaethje's kind of inconsistent. Sometimes he just swings for the fences. Sometimes he's a little bit more strategic. And he's taken so much damage in his career. I mean, it's kind of hard to bet on. He's only 37, but he's taken so much damage. His fighting age is definitely a lot older than that. So, Topuria, I don't think I've seen him fight too much. So, Topuria's the latest champ. So he KO'd Charles Oliveira. Yeah, I'm sure I saw that. He KO'd Max Holloway. I saw that too. KO'd Volkanovski. Saw that too. Okay. His other fights I have not seen. So he's just coming off of 3 KOs. That's pretty impressive. And he's undefeated. Okay. Wow. So he is really good. Although some of the other guys he beat are like nobodies. So basically a whole bunch of nobodies. And then Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira. Volkanovski, how many weight classes has this guy fought at? 145. So he fought oh, he used to fight at lightweight. Okay, so he's been between lightweight, featherweight. He actually won the Cage Conquest welter. He's originally a welterweight. Okay. And then he moved to lightweight, then featherweight. Yeah, I'm never too impressed with these guys just cutting so much weight, trying to eke out every advantage possible, kind of like Anderson Silva, because they're not confident in their skill set. Jeff Jeff U1P says, I think sports or rituals like shooting balls through a hoop is like fertility, and boxing has a political origin. I think it's all more symbolic to them than competitive for us. Yeah, there's definitely some bread and circus to all of this, which we can discuss as well. But there you have it. So this will be tomorrow. It starts at 8, so I might start the stream a little bit earlier, but probably no earlier than 7 or 7:30. So for anybody that wants to join tomorrow, join us tomorrow for that. And that's it for today. So I will catch you guys next time. This is Bruce McGuire signing off.